These problems are about divisibility. That is, can a number be divided by some other number? Is it divisible by it? And you get a whole number instead of a decimal. And this first question says, which of the following numbers are divisible by 10? And you could try this on your calculator. If you punched in 382 divided by 10, you'd get 38.2. Because when you divide something by 10, it's like moving the decimal point one place over. So that would be 38.2. If you did that with 370, you'd get 37.0, and we can just leave off the 0.0, so you actually get 37. And that's the clue for this. Anything that ends with a 0 is going to be divisible by 10. Anything that doesn't end with a 0 is not. It's going to end up as a decimal. So 172 is out, 52 is out, 740 ends with a 0. It becomes 74. And 90 becomes 9. So these are the numbers that are divisible by 10. You can test all that on your calculator if you want, but this is going to work every time. Let's look at the next one. This says, which of the following numbers are divisible by 2? And this is the same exact thing as saying which of these numbers is even. All numbers that are divisible by 2 are even. All even numbers are divisible by 2. So I'm just going to cross out the negative numbers here. And there we go. We have 98, 58, and 102. They're all even, so they're all divisible by 2. If you don't believe me, punch them in on your calculator, divide by 2, and you'll see I'm right. All right, next one. Which of these numbers is divisible by both 9 and 5? All right, a little more work here. So you might want to take these one at a time and punch them in the calculator, divide by 5, divide by 9, see if it works both times. Although before I do that, I'm just going to run through here and check. I know that things that are divisible by 5 have to either end with a 5 or a 0. Well, 15 does, but 54 does not. So I know that's not going to be divisible by 5. Then we've got 45, that ends in a 5, and 90, that ends in a 0. So all those are possible candidates. But when I look at 15, I know the factors of 15 in my head. It's 1 and 15 and 3 times 5, so 3 and 5. And nothing else. There's no 9 in there. If you divide 15 by 9, you get a decimal. So it's not divisible by 9. Now 45, you can punch that in your calculator. You can divide it by 5. You can divide it by 9. Actually, 5 times 9 is 45, so that one works. And then 90, well, you know it's divisible by 5 because it's got the 0 at the end. And if you divide this by 9, well, you get 10. 9 times 10 is 90. So both of these are both divisible by 9 and 5. One more. This says use the divisibility test to determine which of the numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, and 10 are factors of 615. And this one you just want to kind of crank out on your calculator, except there's some you can probably rule out. Let me put this over here so there's not a glare. You can rule out 10, right? Because 615 does not end in a 0. You can rule out 2 because it's not an even number. And the others, maybe we're not so sure about. So let's try dividing. So I'm going to test 3. 615 divided by 3, and I get 205. That's a whole number, so 3 works. 615 divided by 4, nope. 615 divided by 5, yes indeed, 123. And 615 divided by 9, nope. So the 9 didn't work, the 4 didn't work. We've got 3 and 5 as factors of 615. So that's a little bit about divisibility.